your kind of company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, BMDC meets with local onion producers from the north. Several compromises are made. Local vendors claim local onions rot rapidly. They ask for time of curation to be respected. BSCFA speaks on meeting held with Cabinet, and Orange Walk businessman walks free from a charge of obtaining property by deception. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Thursday, January 12th, 2023.
I am ready. You are getting the new and improved me. This is nice.
I think what really impressed him was the fact that I didn't turn into a monster.
Bring on the heat! Start up the gunfire! Weapon of death!
It's about a relationship that hopefully many people can relate to.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. In Belize, onions are consumed at an unbelievable high scale. On a weekly basis, onion consumption is at an average of 100,000 pounds. This includes yellow, white, and purple onions. But in December, Belize saw a deficit in local onion production, and it prompted the Belize Marketing and Development Corporation to apply to the Ministry of Agriculture for a license to import 40,000 pounds of onion in order to meet the demand for the end-of-year consumption. In mid-December, the BMDC imported only 54% of this weekly consumption, approximately 54,000 pounds, and there was a deficit of 46,350 pounds. In the last week of December, there were no imports of onions, so farmers would be able to sell. On the 3rd of January 2023, BMDC imported 34% of the country's weekly onion consumption, or approximately 34,000 pounds, and farmers would need to provide at least 66,350 pounds of onions for local consumption. However, it caused a sore opinion for the local farmers, who insisted that the BMDC continued importation, causing them to be unable to sell their produce. Today, on a one-on-one, we sat down with BMDC's administrator, who clarified the misunderstanding vented out in the public domain.
They have the concerns that BMDC is, because we import onions when there is no onions in the market. They have the concerns that BMDC is continuing importing onions, and I want to clarify that that is not true. You know, on the 19th of December, we imported onion, the yellow one. That is the last day that we imported. That was the second week, days before Christmas. Then the last week of December, we imported no onions of any type. Not yellow, not white, not purple. And then, beginning January, we saw a deficit, and then we imported 36% of the weekly demand, because the weekly demand is about 100,000 pounds, and we understand that we can't import everything because it's going on a phase, you know. We are stopping importation, and then the farmers are coming with their local products. Yesterday, after the meeting, we visited Little Belize, and they said they don't have a problem selling. Their concern was that if we continued importing, which we clarified to them that we are not importing anymore. So, and in fact, it showed, because yesterday they said that the customers were calling them and asking for onion. So they said they have no problem. Today we visited Newland, and they don't have any onion in Newland. They said they will have, but after like the end of January. And all onions are coming in because the ministry does their statistics. They do their planting time and when it will be ready for harvest, you know. And after the 15th is when, the 15th of this month is when the onions are going to start coming in, you know. By that time, they're supposed to have no problem with imported onion. Well, the contraband, I don't know about that, but with BMDC importing, they won't have any problem with that.
Korea confirmed to us that the meeting between farmers from the northern districts, the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, and the Belize Marketing and Development Corporation was one that was planned 2 weeks ago and is the norm during the onion season. The meeting was fruitful after compromise was met between the BMDC and farmers.
The concerns for the farmers were addressed. As I said, they had the fear, and I understand farmers. If BMDC imports, they will have problems selling their product when their product is ready. So we clarified that point, that BMDC was not importing, you know, that we imported X amount for the market. The other point was that if they had problems this week and next week, that BMDC was going to assist them in purchasing their onion and see how we market the onion for them.
As per contraband, the BMDC administrator says it's a problem that seems never ending. However, BMDC does what it can to break the practice. He explains what happens when BMDC purchases the onions from farmers and how that ends up at the market stalls.
When we import, we get orders from customers. We import only orders, only true orders. We don't have onions left on our branch. In fact, no commodity. We import and because of orders. And so when we buy from the farmers, because some commodities, our customers have to buy local produce. Let's say, for example, if we have imported lettuce and we have local lettuce, we buy the local lettuce from the farmer, and when we ask the wholesalers, okay, you want imported lettuce, you need to buy local lettuce from us also. And the same way with onion. So, but in this case, we haven't imported, so we are just going to assist the farmers. How much onions do you have? We buy it from you, and we will ask our customers to buy it from us, so that distribute. Usually, if they sell us, let's say the farmers are asking about $75 to $80 a bag of white and purple onion, that's almost the same price that we sell it. We don't make any markup on that. If the farmers are asking for the yellow onion, I understand they're asking about 70 to 75. That's the same price that we pass it on to our customers, so that they distribute across the country. The U.S. can't stop contraband. It's just a window for opportunity. You know, when we come in February, March, when our onions are good quality and good price for the consumers, it's not a business for the contraband people to bring in onions. But right now it's business, because in Mexico it's cheaper than here. So whenever there's that difference, then that's where contraband takes place, just like any other commodity. If it doesn't make sense economically, it won't happen, you know. But at the same time, Ministry, Customs, Baja, they have a team that addresses that issue, and on a regular basis we have meetings, you know, and then they go out, of course they won't catch, but I see that they catch a lot of people contraband and those things, you know, but it happens. I'm sorry to say, for the farmer, for us it affects us a lot, you know. Or order, when there's no onion, or order could be double of what but we have to compete with contraband also, you know. I understand the farmers, it affects them also, but, you know, that's another issue from BMDC.
Carrillo says that the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise only grants licenses for the importation of onion when there is a deficit in consumer demand. This means that for the next 6 months, the local farmers can sell their produce without fear of importation. But while some local onion producers are claiming there is no market for their produce due to the imported product that currently finds itself at the various vegetable stalls and stores, vegetable vendors told us today the local onions they have at their stall are rotting at a rapid pace, placing them on the losing side of the ring. For this reason, the middleman prefers the imported onions over the local ones.
Pues sí, ahorita yo he estado consiguiendo cebolla blanca, cebolla morado, cebolla amarillo del local que traen los menonas. Pues lo único que pues se está perdiendo bastante porque está mojado, se ve sequecita, pero luego el centro sale que está podrido.
¿Eso hace cuánto lo consiguió?
Este tiene como el lunes, creo, el lunes. Como sí, este desde el otro día que uno lo consigue, lo vacía del saco, ya está saliendo unos malos. Pero pues yo como digo, pues ellos que luchen a dejarlo que se seque un poquito más para que nosotros pues compramos acá en el mercado y no botemos demasiado. Yo pienso que debía de dejarse un poquito que se seque más para que no se pudra el centro, porque ellos dicen que es por la lluvia, pues hay que ver cómo para que pues nosotros compramos, pagamos y pues ya nosotros son los que votamos, nadie nos devuelve nada.
A sack of onion brings 50 pounds and is sold by the local farmer to the local vendor at a price of $8 Belize dollars. But when the onions are not cured properly, the loss is on the end of the vendor. It is one of the main reasons the imported onions are preferred.
El saco de cebolla local está trayendo 50 libras y vale 80, 85 el saco. Y pues no vamos a poner cantidad, pero más o menos unas 8 a 10 libras se saca malos. Ajá. Y igual el morado, conseguí morado. En el morado sí creo que voy a la mitad, como el 50% nomás de pérdida, porque todo está malo. Al que trae la cebolla, pues que la procure dejar un poquito que se seque más y todo está bien. Porque pues ahorita hay cebolla que viene del lado mexicano, que pues nosotros compramos de esa cebolla y esa cebolla pues no se pierde demasiado, porque está seco.
Pues para mí es mejor el importado porque aguanta más, aunque está un poquito más caro, pero no nos importa porque compramos la cebolla local y botamos la mitad, porque todos los días botamos. Entonces, en vez de ganar, nosotros perdemos nuestro dinero. Nosotros estamos aquí para ganar nuestra ganancia, para sobrevivir, porque no decimos que vamos a guardar dinero, porque eso es solo para sobrevivir. Gracias que yo no tengo ni hijos tampoco para mantener así grandes, así pequeños, sino que solo grandes tengo ya. Ya lo que estoy negociando es ya solo para mí, para sostenerme. Pero le digo a varias personas les he dicho de que el local nos trae mucha pérdida. Aunque tal vez ellos dirán que tienen buen producto, pero yo no sé qué pasa con ellos. De que ellos no pueden producir producto mejor. Porque el producto mexicano, aunque les duela donde les duela, el mexicano aguanta. Tienen una semana que yo compré esa cebolla y no he botado ni una cebolla. Allá tengo un saco allá adentro. También yo compré 3 sacos y yo no he botado ni una cebolla. Ahí está la cebolla. Hubiera sido local, yo creo que todo ya se hubiera podrido. Y con uno, porque todos los días echa agua. ¿Ve? Eso es una pérdida. Y es una pena de hablar sobre de ellos en esa forma. A mí no me gusta hablar, pero hablando se entiende todo, para ver qué es lo que se puede solucionar sobre de su producto de ellos, que pueden calificar un producto que se vea bonito en el mercado. Porque viene la gente, se pone a escoger su cebolla, pero primero que agarro que ya está podrido. ¿Dónde queda uno en vergüenza? Entonces, yo por mi parte es una primera vez que estoy hablando así, pero no sé, yo no quisiera que ellos lo toman a mal, sino que hablamos para que ellos pegan un adelanto de pedir ayuda. No sé a quién se le podrá pedir ayuda, pero para que ellos puedan producir el mejor producto.
The phone comes according to vendors when the public health inspector visits their stall. Once produce is found not meeting certain standards, it must be discarded.
Pues a nosotros solo nos pueden decir que la botemos porque no podemos vender nada malo.
Entonces, lo que estoy preguntando es, ¿eso debería estar en el estante ahorita? Si el ministerio pasa, les iba a decir, voten todo lo que está allá.
Sí, lo que no sirve, pues no se puede vender.
As per the Ministry of Agriculture, Food Security and Enterprise, during the end-of-year holidays, 40,000 tons of onions were imported to satisfy the hand demand. Residents and visitors got a fright earlier today when an explosion was heard coming from inside the well-known Rainbow One restaurant located on 4th Avenue in Corozal Town, opposite of the Smart showroom. Soon after the explosion, smoke was observed coming out of the main entrance of the restaurant. It would confirm that the kitchen was on fire. Reports reaching our newsroom indicate that the fire department responded shortly after the fire was reported and managed to control the flames. The incident reported no fatalities and minimal damage to property. The government signed into law statutory instrument number 170, which states that the minimum wage for all categories of workers has increased to $5 an hour effective January 1st, 2023. But the BCCI, which has objected to the immediate implementation of the increase from the existing $3.50 an hour, said that the increase to $5 would add $2 million to the private sector's wage bill overnight. But for GOB, the private sector has had ample time to prepare for the increase. So, to abide by the increase, some business owners are increasing the price of products at the stores, while others are cutting the working hours of employees, and some are even cutting down on staff to mitigate the effects of the increase. For PM Briceño, business carrying out these moves should be called out.
It is unfortunate for those businesses that are doing that, and I think they should be called out. For us to be able to raise the minimum wage to $5 is the least we can do for our poorest of the poor, our poor people. For you to try to live with $2.30 or $2.35 an hour, I think it's disgraceful. And as a country, we need to do better. And that is why we have raised the minimum wage to $5 across the board. When you look at them, it's going to affect, I think it's about 30,000 people that are going to get an increase in salaries. And they are going to be earning more money, so that's more money is going to be turned over in the economy, and these same businesses are going to be able to have more business, so they will also benefit indirectly.
If they're cutting hours and cutting staff, then it kind of...
That's why I'm saying that we should call out those people, because then they're taking advantage of people. That's not the intention. And I'm sure that they pretty soon will realize that they will have to call them back, because they will not be able to provide the level of services that their customers demand. And so, because if you give me bad service because you don't want to pay $5 an hour, I'm going to go somewhere else where I'm going to get the necessary service. It is something that's necessary, and the majority of the businesses, whenever we talk to them, most of them are already paying more than $5 an hour. We have over 100,000 workers in this country, and it's only 30,000 of them. And even in agriculture, like in sugar, people are already paying more than $5 an hour because they paid based on the work that they're doing. We need to encourage the private sector to work with us to help these people. These people, you can't live on $2.30 an hour.
An Orange Walk businessman walked free from a charge of obtaining property by deception this week after the complainant dropped the charges. 67-year-old attorney Mark Williams appeared in court on Wednesday to say that he no longer wished to proceed with the case against 37-year-old Jonathan Burgos after Burgos repaid him the $3,500 which was stolen. The matter was then struck out for want of prosecution. In September 2022, Williams paid the money to Burgos as a down payment for a vehicle that he intended to purchase. However, after more than a month, Burgos could neither produce the vehicle nor the money for the down payment. In November, Williams decided to press charges. Coming up next, BSCFA discusses proposed changes to the Sugar Act with Cabinet. Stay tuned.
¡Estoy! ¡Por fin estoy!
A rodar.
¡Sí, señor!
¡Esto va a estar bueno!
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
Am I missing a tooth?
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Enjoy your favorite HBO original series and movies with
Centaur, your kind of company.
In last night's newscast, we told you about how representatives of the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association met with Cabinet on Tuesday. It's an unusual meeting point, but due to the current impasse between the association and Bayside ASR over the formulation of a new commercial agreement, the presiding administration saw it necessary for both entities to make a presentation to ministers to get a clearer picture of the situation. And a clear picture they got, indeed, because according to the chairman of the BCFA Committee of Management, Alfredo Ortega, the association was able to present on the 5 clauses they would like to etch on the new agreement and propose changes to the Sugar Act.
Presentamos al gabinete lo que es nuestra posición en lo que hemos estado haciendo research para esta negociación con BSI, en los cambios que hemos estado pidiendo, en que estuvimos pidiendo durante el tiempo de la negociación que no se logró. Entonces, en esa presentación se le dio a los ministros. No pudimos ir en tanto detalle, pero sí en los puntos específicos sobre de ello, de la cual pues muchos ministros lograron apreciar ya directamente de nosotros lo que estamos pidiendo y lo que estamos luchando en negociar con BSI. Así es de que pues realmente estamos muy agradecidos como BSF de que se nos dio esa oportunidad para poder presentar y así que los ministros pues puedan conocer más en detalle en la situación que estamos nosotros luchando para los cañeros.
Para el beneficio del cañero, ¿cuáles fueron los puntos específicos que ustedes lograron presentar en la reunión a gabinete?
Bueno, Cami, en realidad pues nos dieron la oportunidad, nos habían dicho que media hora, sin embargo nos dieron la oportunidad de una extensión más de tiempo, ¿no? Y nos dio la oportunidad de poder presentar los puntos en que hemos estado luchando en la negociación, que es la división del 60-40, la situación del bagazo, el tiempo que se está pidiendo de lo que refiere al tiempo de contrato, ¿no? De 3 años que estamos pidiendo nosotros, y también esta situación de la molienda, que incremente la molienda por 24 horas en 7,000 toneladas. Eso fue en lo que se presentó al gabinete, que son los 5 puntos específicos que hemos estado luchando en la negociación con BSI. Nosotros, en la forma como está estructurado la ley en estos momentos, nosotros tenemos varias limitaciones que nosotros no podemos conocer de antemano o de primera mano como lo tiene BSI. Entonces, en realidad, pues necesitamos que se hagan ciertos cambios en la ley, y esos cambios solo vienen a través de la Cámara de Representantes, del Gabinete y del Senado, ¿verdad? Entonces, cuando ellos logran entender bien estas cosas, pues entonces, como dice el primer ministro, ¿verdad?, que tiene que buscar formalizar una ley que sea neutral. En estos momentos la ley no favorece tanto al sector productivo, que somos los cañeros. Entonces, eso es lo que vamos buscando, Cami, de que ellos puedan comprender con claridad lo que estamos buscando, para que así cuando ese momento llegue, pues ellos puedan tomar las decisiones más claras para no solo favorecer a los cañeros, pero sino que la industria esté mejor, y a donde el cañero pues pueda trabajar más contento y tener en mente de que el esfuerzo que está haciendo va a recibir su compensación por ese sacrificio que hace para producir la caña.
According to Ortega, ministers are now more informed about the industry itself and the causes of the current impasse between both stakeholders.
En realidad la reacción de los ministros fue bastante entendible, ¿verdad? Porque pues tú sabes, la presentación de nuestro lado también tiene que ser de una manera más clara. Pues no quiero decir claro que en todo momento lo tratamos de hacer lo más claro posible, pero pues presentándoselo a los ministros, pues tiene que ser de una manera más franca y más directa. Entonces, pues hubo oportunidad también de los ministros de hacer preguntas para hacer ciertas aclaraciones en algunos puntos que tal vez no entendían. Entonces, al final de todo y de las presentaciones, pues hubo ya más entendimiento de parte de los ministros, como bien dice, aquellos que no están involucrados directamente en la industria, entonces ya entendieron más claro cuál es la posición y qué es lo que estamos buscando como BSCFA para los cañeros.
But as mentioned by Prime Minister John Briceño yesterday, the meeting was not for Cabinet to decide on a way forward or to even take sides. So for both organizations to reach to an agreement, the issue will be taken to a commission of inquiry.
Tanta negociación donde hemos llegado y nada se ha logrado, pues solo vemos de que una comisión de investigación es lo que se necesita hacer, y entonces ese es el involucramiento que se necesita hacer en estos momentos, de que haya esa comisión que haga las investigaciones respectivas para que así entonces eso el gobierno pueda ver los resultados de eso, de la cual pues como ves en estos momentos en las negociaciones que hemos tenido pues no ha sacado nada beneficiario para nosotros en lo que estamos buscando, así es de que esperamos de que se pueda actuar rápido en que se consigan ese equipo de investigación y así entonces se pueda trabajar con los resultados que saquen ellos.
Señor Fer, y para aclarar, si llegamos hasta ese punto de llevar este tema a un Commission of Inquiry, al final del día este grupo, esta comisión, da un veredicto, da un ruling y cualquiera que sea, ambas partes la tienen que respetar.
Claro que sí, Cami, porque eso va a ser un grupo de expertos en las diferentes materias que se necesita investigar. Así es de que basado en sus inspecciones de ellos y en sus veredictos que den, claro que ya son personas expertas en el tema. Así es de que no puede salir encanteado o favoreciendo completamente a un solo lado, sino que tiene que estar claro con lo que va a ser su búsqueda. Así es que una vez que eso suceda, entonces ya podemos tener algo en mano de la cual no hemos tenido nosotros hasta en estos momentos, lo que es la clarificación en todo los cobros que se van haciendo.
Cabinet will also meet with representatives of BSI ESR. Apart from meeting with the BSCFA, Cabinet gave its approval for the Ministry of Health and Wellness to upgrade its fleet of ambulances, starting with the purchase of 3 ambulances. Cabinet was also briefed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Immigration on the work program as Belize assumes the presidency pro tempore of the Central American Integration System, CICA. During its 6-month chairmanship of CICA, Belize will focus on the following priorities: migration, climate change, and food security. Ministers also approved for Belize to ratify the Regional Agreement on Access to Information, Public Participation, and Justice in Environmental Matters in Latin America and the Caribbean. This agreement will uphold and strengthen the values of democracy in the region, foster more inclusive community-oriented actions, and set the foundation for improved policy and decision-making, and for the tabling of amendments to the Immigration Act and the Caribbean Community Free Movement of Skilled Persons Act with a view to allow for the free movement of economically active citizens who can contribute to stimulating a robust economy with greater employment and productivity. The presentation of 2 proposed loan motions at the next sitting of the House of Representatives, one for $15 million in support of the competitiveness of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, MSMEs, particularly in the agriculture and tourism sectors, and the second for $8 million for trade and investment facilitation to promote investment and trade through simplification, standardization, and automation of key procedures, including the establishment of a single investment window and a single trade window, was also discussed and approved. Both loans are being facilitated through the Inter-American Development Bank on favorable terms. The Attorney General's ministry was also given the go-ahead to bring into force the Caribbean Treaty on Mutual Legal Assistance in Serious Criminal Matters. Rogue cops, it's a subject that has been on the media for a few weeks now, with names of cops involved in some type of criminal activity popping up almost on a weekly basis. The most recent accusation is being launched at Elmer Na, who is being accused of carrying out the double murder of the Ramirez brothers in Bamopan on New Year's Eve. Na has also been charged for attempted murder, as he is accused of also injuring the wife of one of the brothers during the shooting spree. At the time the crimes were committed, Na was not active in the force, since he had been placed under interdiction for his alleged involvement in the landing of a suspected drug plane in the south. While the Ministry of National Security has been rooting out some of the rogue cops, there are more to be weeded out, and according to Prime Minister John Bresenio, that is the objective of Minister Karim Musa.
It's easy to look, oh, somebody get killed, or they have held up somebody, home invasion. It's easy news. The truth is that Minister Musa has been trying to get rid of all the rogue cops as much as possible. He has gotten rid, I think, of at least 120 cops, but to not recover that. So whenever he finds that there's a rogue cop, he tries to get rid of them. And in some instances, it's easier to just pay them off and get them out of the service. The cabinet fully supports the initiatives of Minister Musa, and we're encouraging him to be able to try to get rid of more of them. With the issue of Mr. Na, we need to point out that he has been in interdiction. He has not been an active police officer. And you are continue to refer to him as a police officer. He is in interdiction. He is not a police officer as far as we're concerned. It seems that from the evidence, and again, we still have to wait till we go to court, that he was the one that's behind these murders.
In the case of Na, the DPP, Sherilyn Vidal, has recused herself from the case.
The DPP has already mentioned to the Commissioner of Police that she is withdrawing from this case because, for whatever reason, obviously, as I'm told, that she is no longer the partner of Mr. Vidal, but this is Mr. Vidal's nephew. So to avoid any issues of any conflict, she has recused herself. I wish our judges would do the same, no? But she has recused herself, and even some of her staff. So we are looking at the possibility of maybe even bringing in an outside prosecutor and investigator to ensure that we can have an airtight case against Mr. Na and all of those that are involved behind this heinous crime.
Today, the Ministry of Economic Development, MED, announced that the Central American Bank for Economic Integration, CAIBE, has approved a non-reimbursable grant of $1,948,074 Belize dollars to finance the rehabilitation of the access roads of the Corozal Free Zone. Chief Executive Officer for the Ministry of Economic Development, Dr. Osmond Martinez, stressed how important this infrastructural enhancement is, as the funds will facilitate convenience and safety for drivers as well as attract investment and economic opportunities. The access road is approximately 1.6 kilometers long, connecting the Santa Elena Bridge to the entrance of the Corozal Free Zone. It is expected that the rehabilitation of the road will commence in March of this year. Martinez also extended gratitude to Dr. Dante Mosi, president of CAIBE, and said that he is looking forward to the continued partnership. Retired BDF soldier Major Gilbert Suazo has officially been appointed as the new Ombudsman of Belize. He was to commence his work as the country's Ombudsman at the beginning of January 2023. But the last time checks were made, he was not occupying his seat yet, and yesterday the Prime Minister was asked why Suazo's seat remains vacant.
We certainly recognize that the office of the Ombudsman is a very important position. But like in everything, sometimes because you're so busy with so many other things, sometimes you overlook the issue of the Ombudsman. And since September of last year, we said that we have to find an Ombudsman, and we wanted to find somebody qualified, somebody that has the humility to serve, because in the Ombudsman, you're not dealing with the rich folks that can afford to get their own they could afford to get their own attorneys. These are the local folks, grassroots people. So we felt that we need to find the adequate person, and we saw that in Major Suazo for him to start. As far as I'm concerned, he should have come on board the starting of this month, on the 1st of January. Why that happened, I don't know. You're giving me news, so after this I'm going to call the Cabinet Secretary to find out what's the hold-up. Why is it that he has not been officially appointed to start the job?
There has been no one serving as Ombudsman in Belize since April 2021 when Lionel Arzul surrendered the post, leaving that most vital office without someone at the helm. The office caters to Belizeans who believe their rights have been violated in some way by one of the public institutions of the country but have no means of legal redress. In the Senate, Major Suazo, who is originally from Dangriga, was lauded by senators as a person fit to carry out the important tasks assigned to the person who holds the post. Major Suazo is 61 years old and is thus within the constitutionally prescribed age range for someone designated to hold the post of Ombudsman. Major Suazo, who was appointed Ports Commissioner in 2020, served within the BDA for 24 years before retiring from the force. He also served in NEMO and the Port Authority as Operations Manager and Deputy Ports Commissioner before his 2020 appointment. And that's news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Friday, January 13th, here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at CTV3BelizeNews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.